The day the college exam ended, the school's glow pulled me into the woods, in front of the whole class. Just when I was in my tracks, she suddenly, a pure fragrance, characteristics of the occasional girl. Then her voice soared, "Xiao Yu, I volunteered to give my heart. I'll give you everything I've ever had. If you agree with me on one thing, my life will be yours." I was startled by her. Turns out all this is because her mother's sick. They need 60,000 yuan for surgery, even for a rich father and son like me, with half a month's pocket money. But I still refuse. She doesn't need to think. The heart of a student, a frozen flower, seems very precious. Unfortunately, I don't believe in love. My parents can marry for the good of the family. Moreover, they maintain the image of husband and wife. More than 25 models. They have a heart. Maybe nuts. But their hearts are for outsiders. So don't talk about your heart with me. I don't believe it. I stood up straight and walked in front of her. I'm taller than her. One head. I could see her shaky lashes clearly, with tears throughout the kingdom on it. I reached out my hand. Her whole body was viscerally stiff. Close your eyes. My finger gently flipped one on her forehead. The frozen white startled opened my eyes. Look at me bewildered. I pulled my arm back and stared at the ice-white eyes. Emphasize every word. You have to understand the ice. Now you're expecting me to be an asshole, excess water drizzle drop fishing, or hope I'm a good person. Compassion to help you. One of her hands looked at me in complete stupidity. My mind is clearly on the line, but a vegetation is looked at her with that. She finally reacted. My shoulders are straining down. White ice carries a small ray of hope, a small mosquito-like voice to help me pray. I definitely can't shake my head. I'm not a philanthropist. Even though I have a lot of money, but also not cheap. Spend it in unnecessary places. Though so, 60,000 is enough for me to buy 10 cats. Napoleon. Then the pleading in her eyes immediately turned into desperate to see this crumbling look of her. The little evil in my heart also disappeared. I changed my voice. But even if the bad guy or the good guy, I don't even want to do it. But we can be business people. I remember your performance very well. The future is also seen as a potential stock, so I can lend you money. It's a personal investment of 600,000. I can transfer it to you now. There was an immediate flash of unbelievable joy in her eyes. But I have a condition. 15 later you have to pay me 1 million yuan. Interest rates are not high for you, probably not difficult. At the same time, you have to pass the bar. More college entrance exam in a month. This is the first evidence that you're capable. Repayment is also a control clause. The risk of this investment. It's like she caught the last life-saving straw. Immediately nod strongly. My wife will swallow my words. I left her the number. Then turn your back and walk away. I can't wait to see her expression. Step out of the forest. The sun is shining on you so warm. Actually, I don't care if she's paying or not. 600,000 to me. It's really nothing. The terms of that contract just to talk to outsiders. Or she'll come and borrow money from me. I can't stand that much money. That kind of money burning. 600,000 to buy a sense of self-sufficiency. I did a good thing today. You can see it at a close distance. The bastard form of the flower. That's not too bad. After talking to the lawyer, appointment time location, I can hand over the contract for Bachiyun. This tape is done. I walk toward my original goal, a club living room. Through the glass door, you can see the inside. Tomorrow morning my code. Willow, as Yen is laughing happily, with a grizzled young man. The Willow family and my house are considered secular. Business is very close. So Liu and I are quiet. It can also be considered as a code. This is not good. Mainly Liu's sister as Yen. Liu then promised a true female noble Qi. Beautiful and Tao. The important thing is to treat me extremely well. Every time. Give me pocket money in millions of yuan. This is for someone who just eats and doesn't sit, waiting to die like me. It's actually a walking cash machine. Like Liu promise. About to. I'm engaged to my phony brother. It's John Lam. Later, she's my own sister-in-law. The more body. My parasite-rich life is even more secure. But lately it's been quiet because of a scoundrel. That performance slips from the top of the block to the average, to the point where you promised to go. Body asked me the situation. I knew then that I had to intervene. Even if they take people's money. We also need to help people do something. Not even time to open the door. I hit a male Lao from inside Ra. He stumbled back 2 steps. His eyes were full of shame and contempt. I realized he seemed to be a poor student. It's like they've funded before. Very good performance. You are also honest. I think 8 minus 9, 10 is a great show. I love my benefactor, but the benefactor fell in love with the scoundrel I shook. My head is a little funny. The young man is still too immature. It's like our second generation. Spend money working. Sometimes it's just a habit. A pastime to flaunt one's identity. Doesn't mean we're good people. If you really want to be grateful, try to climb high. Use benefits in return. That's called morality in life. Keep putting your feelings in. It's self-bitter. I didn't notice him going straight ahead. Push the door that's half closed. It was as if he was chatting with Longstreet, laughing to the stuffy. To see me, Willow's smile was as if it had died on his face. Immediately frown again. In a defensive and exasperated voice. Jitsi. What are you doing here? You also came to advise me to break up with Alon. I said, let me tell you not to waste your time. The useless Jian family main young master. You're alive. I have no right to manage me. I'm not angry. I even want to laugh a little. I don't have time for you. I'm just curious. She always obeyed the rules of Liu. I'm naturally fond of this kind of Willow, like the saddle high voice. Carried with contempt. What do you understand? Alon is not like fake rich kids. You guys, he lied honestly. Living free, she hugged Longstreet's arm tightly. On her face, almost ferocious devotion. This is what we call living. Your life of stamping machinery. It's called tasteless. It's called wasting life. And then she pointed the needle at me. Especially John Jiao. Learning is poor because play is not good. Out of the family of John Rep. What else do you have? You're such a useless person. From head to toe, why not? Make it look like you've woken up. You know the win. right? Maybe I thought I was convinced by her. On the face, it looks good. Longroad also stuck up his chest. He looked at me with an expression of no more fear. But the next second, with a pig-like scream, stabbed by Longstreet, I looked down from above. Is the willow still away? She was glaring at me, instinctively taking a step back. Longroad is groaning on the ground. My eyes are full of. I was afraid to walk in front of Longstreet. You don't have to like honesty. I like the freedom of Sao. Tell me how you feel right now. Is there freedom? Longroad hurts to sweat. Can't get a word out, as if he wanted to pull me up. They used a glare for fear of retreating. You're not very good at it. Sao said nothing now. He trembled with a fart, and did not dare to let go. I suddenly found it tasteless. I have so much liver, but also learned to go out to flirt with Lady Themekin. I'm still shivering, as if I'm still shaking. Straight to the west of the city, a famous area. It's a gathering place for all kinds of complex people. I pulled myself out of the car, pressed her against a wall in a dirty alley. The smell of hot urine, and the smell of rotten trash in the middle, straight to the face. It's like an open stomach on the spot. I pointed my hand towards the end of the alley, where some blonde gangsters are cursing at each other. The cold voice. Look, this is the wind of youth that you light. Is it real enough? If you like, I'll throw you over there now. The willow is quiet, immediately afraid to whiteface. Hold my arm tight, crying to the point of not breathing. Let's go home and pray for you. At this moment, I accidentally closed my eyes. I saw a familiar shadow. It's Longstreet. He goes to practice when I don't pay attention. And then he slipped through the back alley. I'm also lazy to chase this kind of trash. I don't deserve to act anymore, obviously. As if I had seen some blood on her face out of illusory rays. Finally follow the cowardly shadow running away. It's completely broken. She doesn't cry anymore, just stands there stupidly. It's like losing your soul. I shoved her back in the car. She didn't say another word all the way. The car stopped in front of their house. She opened the door 7 minutes ago and walked in. I didn't get out and tell the driver to turn around and go straight home. I got a text message on my phone that night. He promised to send it. Thank you for the dance. I sent it back without chi. This is done. 2 days later, the ocean was quiet. No one comes to bother me. Know this. She was promised by her future sister-in-law. Put it down and watch out for this flag. I am not wrong. Life is precious. My parasites are as solid as a jelly table. But the next day, I couldn't laugh anymore. Longstreet died in an accident. The car died suddenly. Look out for my future sister-in-law. It's a lot more cruel than I thought. And suddenly I find this family a little scary. Everyone wears a perfect mask, boldly clearing out any obstructions. And so does my brother John Lin. My future sister-in-law promised the same. I am the only infidel. Someone who just wants to eat and not sit and wait to die. They use my cold. Sit up out of bed. I have to move out immediately. Stay away from these cruel people. If you are still alive, you can continue to eat. I'm not greeting an A. Early morning the next day, I took my suitcase and went downstairs. My mother is drinking tea, bright in the living room. She just indifferently clicked her eyelids when she saw me. The tone is bland. Go somewhere to sleep. She didn't ask anymore. Kept her head down and read the financial magazine. The man called my father. I don't know where it is. This house is as cold as an ice cave. I pulled the suitcase without looking back. Step out of that gorgeous mansion again. I have a penthouse in the city center. Bought a long time ago. Now is the time to use it. The apartment is large and empty. The refrigerator is getting emptier. I drove to the biggest supermarket nearby. I need food and snacks. Fill this new house. Push cart. I'm floating between shelves full of products. I'm like a machine. They scans without emotion and throws stuff in the car. As soon as you cross a corner, I suddenly stop. Because it's in a corner of the snack bar. I saw a little girl sneaking around. Put a bag of bread in your sleeve. She looks a few years younger than me, small, fizzy, wearing a washed-up school uniform. It looks clean and bright, but unfortunately, the hands and feet are not very clean. I didn't speak up, just lean on the shelf. Dentist hands stood looking at her. Bag stuffed very tight. The sleeve is too small and the cake bag is too big. Try again a few times. So man Darren like that there was sweat on his forehead. At last she seemed to feel something. The stalling motion slowly lifting the head up. Our eyes met in the air. I stared at her without saying anything for 10 seconds. Her face went from white to red. At speeds that can be seen with the naked eye. Those big round eyes were horrified at first. Then there's panic. And end up filled with shame and disgrace. Extreme. Her hands holding her bread bag trembled dirty. Just listen to the bag for an hour. The bread bag fell to the floor. She's drained of all her energy. Everybody's down. I can't get my face down to the ground. So tasteless I walked in, then down. Pick up the bread bag and throw it in my cart. I picked up more cookies. Jam candy on the shelf next door. Just put it all in the car. Very fast my shopping cart is piled up into a small mountain. I pushed the cart in front of her. She still crouched, her face full of tension. The body is waiting for a verdict. I used the tip of my shoe to gently kick my shoes. The cloth had snatched her silver. The voices are all, no money for food, man. She trembled slightly and gave a slight nod. A second later, I remembered something. She shakes her head hard again. I'm a little impatient. You just nod and shake. Show me the rice drama. What's it all about? Say it. My voice is a little heavier. She was threatened by me. Keep your head up and look at me. Red eyes filled with tears. She opens her mouth. A few syllables came out of my throat. 2 hands and feet dance. The moment I was stunned. In my head flashed a thought. Then mute I looked at her worried and helpless face. The fire in my heart immediately died out. I am sorry about that. This moment I feel like I'm a guy. Assholes can't be cured. Asshole. I remember wanting to slap myself in the middle of the night. I didn't say anything. Turn around and get another stroller. It's filled with food that's easy to store. And then I pushed 2 cars and I say, little girl follow. She still doesn't seem to react in time. I'm lazy to explain. Directly grab her wrist, and she pulls out the cashier. Finished my payment, a large handbag, small bag. She wriggled along behind me like a little tail. I'd also have a few bags of food in my hand. I'd put all my stuff in the trunk of his sports car, then tell her to get in the car. She's a little hesitant, but still pull the side door. Then I asked for her home address. She got the phone, tiny fingers poking on the screen. Half a day I finally found a place. It's an old town, a shabby but normal nook. I don't even want to pass by. I didn't say anything. Start the car straight. Along the way in the car was eerily quiet. She's always bowing her head, two hands clasping her skirt. The car crept through the old narrow alleys and ended up in front of a 6-seat dormitory. It looks like it's about to collapse. I turned off the machine with her to unload the food. The hallway is dark and humid. It's full of musty smells and strange things with no name. She let me go up to the 3rd floor and open a peeling door. A strong smell of Chinese medicine in the nose. The house is very small, so small that one glances to see every corner. It's the phrase, the 4 walls of the earth, and tea-fouling vapor. I saw it with my own eyes today. On a creaking wooden bed. It's a sick little old lady lying there. The old woman closed her eyes with weak breath. She puts her things down to run to the bedside of Tho. Turned the corner for the old woman. My eyes were filled with anxiety, and I sort of understood. It's not that she doesn't have money for food. It's that there's no money for the family. Stealing bread is probably because you're hungry. I didn't want to touch my grandmother's medical bills. I bought this carpet. I'm the most unbearable. She's fine. Let her grandmother finish up in front of me. Bend over so deep. Then pick up a tattered notebook on the table. Quickly plug bow, write something. It's a fine-grained inscription on it. Thank you for how much this stuff costs. I will definitely give it back to you later. I looked at the inscription a bit, wanting to laugh for something to pay. Steal again. I didn't say anything. Just take the phone out. Call the family's personal assistant. I spoke briefly on the phone. The king helped me contact an intensive care unit at the central hospital. Within 15 minutes, send an ambulance to the compound in the west of the city. The address I will send you. You can deduct the expenses directly to my account. The whole process takes less than a minute. She's completely petrified. She looked at me with her mouth open. I forgot to cry. I forgot to write. I can understand for her. What it takes a lifetime to wish for is for me. It only takes a phone call to solve it. I kicked the bag under my feet. What is she doing out there? Pack your bags and get ready to go to the hospital. She's like waking up from a dream. He immediately frantically began to tie up. There really isn't much to pack. Some old clothes. Paint the same color as the glazed corner cup. The ambulance arrived very quickly. Professional medical staff carefully carried the old woman on a stretcher. From the beginning to the end, she holds it. I closed my shirt like I was afraid that I would suddenly disappear. I'm a little uncomfortable though, but he didn't shake his hand. Little girl rat, the hospital. Everything has been arranged. In patient care 24 out of 24 in the intensive care unit. Top 5 team of experts. Immediately conduct a consultation. I'm standing outside the bright, clean room, watching the doctor and nurse rush inside. She is always at the bedside. They are filled with fear and gratitude. A little lily. I am haunted by the death of Longstreet. It also seems to disappear in part. You can buy it with money. I'm in a good mood right now, and my shirt is pulled. She brought the tattered notebook in front of me, written on it. What do I have to do to repay your kindness? I leaned against the door and looked at her. I didn't say I needed you back. She hovers up the pen and flies on the page. The writing is somewhat lunar. I can't take no money from you. You're a good man. I see 2 words, good people. The smile on my lips grew stronger. This time, people like me are considered good people. You have good money. I interrupted her arm and leg movement. First of all, I'm not a very good person. Number 2, I told you, I hate trouble the most. You stay here and mess with me. This is getting me in trouble. Do you understand, girl? Because of my blunt logic. Make a fool look at me. I don't know how to respond. I looked at her face and breathed out a breath. I walk in front of her no more. Take out pens and notebooks from her hand. Write a few lines on it. Let's say I buy insurance first. You try to study well. Teacher exam to a good university. Maybe one day I will. I miss eating at the end of the market. Just give me an 8-ounce rice. When I finished writing, I put the notebook back in her hand. She stared at the words on the notebook. Very long, then raised her head. Eyes as clear as that little stream. The tears finally broke. She didn't cry out loud. Just shed tears in silence. Drop by drop down on the crumbling old exercise book. I'm a little embarrassed. Take your eyes away. Okay, stop crying. Your grandmother still needs you to take care of her. Crying like this. What's the point? I thought for a moment and added, what school did you go to? I told the old king to pay your tuition, by the way. From now, every month, I'll have him send you 5,000 yuan for living expenses until you graduate from college and find a job. Don't tell me you don't need it. This also counts as an insurance premium. Finish talking. I don't want to linger and see the tragic scene. This shit. Ask the doctor a few questions and then turn your back. Driving on a large spacious road. I suddenly found it a little ridiculous. There are 2 young men from the John family like me. How can I miss a step? It's absolutely not likely to happen. This is just that you use money to collect some Germany for yourself, no matter what. The people around me. This one is more cruel than the other. I've got to try to accumulate a little more virtue to protect this predatory buddy of mine. I have been blessed for the rest of my life, and then I missed it exactly 5 years later. Just 5 years later. 5 brothers Jianlin through my life after getting married. When this thing breaks down, I'm sunbathing on my private island. When I got the call, I even want to laugh a little. It's in my data. My brother is a weak man by nature. Lack of determination. But I like to look like I'm in love. I'm even lazy to go back to this company. Although Sal, marriage is hiding mode. That's all around. Until my bank card is frozen. One after another, every stock fund, property under my name. In one night they all changed hands. Now I realize that something seems to be wrong, waiting for me to hastily fly from the island to everything that has fallen. 5 Jun family corporations exchanged to Willow. My father has been charged with numerous economic crimes. The evidence is clear. Half a life is basically spent in jail. My brother Jun Lin was kicked out of the house with 2 white hands, and I'm a useless parasite. But it's not letting go. My own savings are miserable. More than 25 are missing. I'm standing in front of my own penthouse. Look at the 2 black guards. My unchanging face is stopping me. Mind buzzing. It's not your sister. You want revenge. Did you force him to die? He doesn't have my brain. I have no opinion, but you put my father in jail. What does it mean to drain the John family fortune? When I think of this, I get upset. Am I living in a novel? Some avenging hostess. Play the role of the sneaking fur cracker cousin. Destroyed in a suite. No, at the right time. The door was open, and he was sitting on a chair. My favorite idea. Elegant posture shaking glass of yellow wine. 5 years have passed. She's nicer than before and colder. It's a powerful gas. Hold in your hand everything that chokes people. She saw me put the glass down. Smile with me. Hugh is back. I didn't say anything, just staring at her. She stood up and walked in front of me. My hand wants to touch my face. Don't look at me with those eyes. You don't want me to tilt my head away. She didn't get angry either. She closed her hand slowly. My brother is stupid. You gave him a chance. But unfortunately, he himself doesn't appreciate it. He promised to shake his head. The look on my face brought a joke. So, that's why you brought my entire family together to destroy a batch of sow. She stopped for a moment, the voice mixed with a little bitterness. But it's not the same anymore. He was sorry for you first. Your revenge is moral. I don't need a husband anymore. She said. She just walked up to me. It's very aggressive. Is Xiao interested in staying with you? I can take care of you like before. I laughed and greeted with tears. Clean the corners of the eyes. He looked at the unblemished face of leaking promise. Listen to me like this. I'm a little suspicious. It was your hand that arranged it. Give Mikey a brother to the lake. Glass is not. The smile on her face finally hardened. It's just a moment. But I still caught a little bit of a flimsy illusion. I'm finally in a cloud of smoke. This woman from beginning to end is a crazy person for achieving the goal through no means. I turned off my smile, an emotional face looking at her, then slowly raise your middle finger towards her. The last laugh on her face was gone. Instead, it's cold and indifferent. Don't know what. She wiped her hands. Don't bother to look at me one more. 2 guards immediately rushed to clamp one left and one right, carrying me up like a chicken. I was violently kicked out of my own house. I'm standing in the hallway with a shadow. I can't stop laughing for an hour. If I believe her demonic words, stay, wait until she's bored. I don't know how I'm going to die. I know very well that I'm not her opponent. Even the Lei, as old as my father was, she was in love with me. A whore like me who only plays whore. Take something out to fight her. Stay away from this crazy woman. Life is more important. I pulled out my phone and opened my phone book to find my friends. Normally, you always open your mouth and call him Vu. The first phone call was made. Hello. Boy. This is Jun Chao. The other end of the line was silent for 3 seconds and asked carefully, who was afraid? I dialed the wrong number and the phone was disconnected. I held back for a moment and then laughed at myself. Keep calling. Give the second person the exact same result. The third person, the fourth, is either called the wrong person or don't answer the phone directly. I lean against the cold wall. Put your so-called friends in your contacts, one by one, deleted to the end, only on the screen. I have some family phone numbers. They've gathered everything of value on me. You can exchange it for less than 100,000 yuan. This little money, it wasn't enough for a night of drinking. But now it's all I have. I wandered aimlessly on the road. I suddenly walked back down to my old apartment building. I can't help but smile. If you can't find a place to screw in the factory, low requirements, how much to eat. No matter what, life is precious. I've had enough for 25 now. I bowed my head and thought. Suddenly veer right into a soft embrace, a smell. The smell of a soft breeze. I'm in a hurry to say I'm sorry, but looking up, I saw a pair of eyes. In the eyes of a girl with a very delicate face. It looks a little familiar to the eye, but for the time being, I don't remember where we met her, but she clearly recognized me. I can see clearly. The moment she recognized me, in those eyes suddenly lit up with joy and lust. There are no words to describe. She moved her lips as if to say something, but it's like being aware of something. Finally, only 6 in a pocket. Take out a phone. Typesetting operation. On the screen appeared the words John. Do you remember me? I looked at the words John. There are still people calling me like this. It's rare. I looked carefully at her face. The pieces of memory slowly put together. Suddenly I woke up, mixed with a little surprise. The shaky Xiao in the supermarket. 5 years ago, the girl who takes care of her sick grandmother in a shabby house. That day was you. Her eyes immediately glowed with a strong nod. That joy. It's like it's about to come out of those clear eyes. I'm even more confused. Why are you here? She's a typing match. Put the phone in front of me. Display screen. I saw the news about the Zhang family. I'm worried about you. I guess maybe you'll come back and have a look. So I'm waiting here. From yesterday, it's like my heart was hit hard by something. In other words, 24 hours after I was evicted. She's always up, under the apartment building that I can never enter again, in the stupidest way. To protect an uncertain possibility. Something that's just ridiculous. Complexity just flowed in me, while my friends call it my flesh. He was in a hurry to clean up his relationship with me. There's a girl I've almost forgotten. You've been waiting for me all day. One night I pulled the corner of my mouth to say something. She seemed to look at me confused. Phone screen back display. I ran out of places to go. I silently accepted it. He put the phone away and did something that I didn't expect at all. He reached out his hand, gently grabbed the tube. My sleeve hollowed my belt. The traction is very weak. I can easily jerk off, but the weight of the sleeve, that tiny, pleaty ray goes there. It's like an invisible chain. I can't move. He pulled me back to the corner. How I was tempted by the devil without resisting. He could follow her behind. We went to a small shop, shine a soothing light. The sign says V Optical Bakery. The store is closed, but the light in the closet is still on. She used the key to open the door, then turn around and signal me to come in. The restaurant is not big but clean. Tie in the flooded air, the aroma of cream, butter, and wheat. She bent down in the closet. Take out a pressed document. The plastic is stored very carefully. Take out of it a yellow paper. Bush in front of me. That's the insurance policy. That 5 years ago I was flying Phoenix dancing right where at. Maybe one day I will. I miss eating at the end of the market. Then you remember me. They ate rice, and she pointed to the words on it. Then point at me. And then point to yourself and this store. His eyes are serious. It's as if you're executing a contract. That's holy. I finally turned away from the oven. Take out a croissant. Still radiating warmth in front of me. No mercy. Only the obvious. It's your turn to help me. Then I took a bite of the cake. The taste cannot be compared to the paint trench. High-end tastes I used to eat, but it brings an extraordinary sense of peace. Where are you still recruiting? Silly girl. Right after that, a bright smile ballooned on that pretty face. I nodded so hard. On that day, half of my life was hard. My day is over. And the next half, I'm going to stick with a little bakery called Vi. This light is held together forever. And my boss is a mute girl. Patty used to think we'll never pass through this world again. The girl's name is Vi. Thanks to the money I'm funding and my savings. After graduating from college, she opened a little bakery on this street. The store is not big, but business is good. They all seem to care. Hey, always deliberately come around here to buy some bread. By the way, but key story. It's not easy being a girl alone. This is good. There are more helpers. Look at that piece of mine. I'm wearing an apron. There's a picture of a little clumsy bear packing batch of toast. Just came out to hear these words. There is no ripple in my heart. A lazy loser. 5 cups as indistinguishable as I am. They look at what's so reassuring. But my appearance, it really helped her carry a lot. At least the hands and feet are needing Gary sacks of sugar. Don't need a skinny little girl like you. I have to bite my teeth alone. The shop is closed in the evening. We went back to the little house upstairs. 4 flanges apps. If you use this phrase to describe your front door, I guess it can only be called the best. There's only one wall. Dining table, 2 chairs. A sofa. A small room that blocks out from the balcony. That's my bedroom. It's smaller than the bathroom in the house. In front of me, I sleep better than anything else. Every night for over 25 years. It's very peaceful. There is no calculation. There's no fake lies in the air. There's just the smell of wheat. Coming up from downstairs, I started learning how to be a normal person. Learn how to scan the house. So let dust not fly blindly throughout the room. Learn how to use a pressure cooker to cook porridge. Why not blow up the kitchen? But most of the time it's a disaster. I mistake salt for sugar. Cooked into a pot of salty red bean tea. She tasted a piece. Small face wrinkle, but not spit out. Just quietly drinking a big glass of water and write on a notebook with a pen. The taste is very special. Maybe a little sugar next time. I look at your serious face, both annoyed and funny. Grab the eat and throw it in the trash. And since then, I've been learning sign language. I buy a bunch of textbooks every night waiting for you to fall asleep. I went back into the room, my little one facing the phone screen. Practice over and over again. From the simplest words like hello, thank you. It's been a long day. Good night. When I first used my hands, they were a bit awkward. Tell me good morning. I was stupid. Then in her always quiet eyes, as if there was a star shining brightly. He also raised his hand very seriously. That moment, I feel throughout the past 25. There's not a moment. It makes me feel what I do is worth so much. Months and days go by. Gradually getting better. From an idiot to an oven that doesn't know how to use. I became an apprentice. Can whip ice cream to catch flowers fluently. The restaurant is getting better. We even went back to the building next door. Expand the store. I also saved some money on my card. Not small enough for me to move out and rent a house. How many times have I tried to talk about this to Tovi, but words come to the mouth, and then I swallowed it back in. Where to eat when you move out. How lonely you are. It is not easy for a girl alone. I can stay a little bit. I gave myself some reasons in my heart. And so the thick face stayed in a dignified way. Tovi never said anything. She seemed to have assumed my presence. I don't believe in Father Kia's law. Along with my brother Kia are the mirrors, the most obvious villain, but the peace of being with me, because it makes me addicted. I shook my head. Get those messy thoughts out of your head. It's almost noon. I have to go prepare lunch for her. I just took off my apron, preparing to go upstairs. Now a familiar figure pushed the door. Step in. The woman wears a finely cut suit. Edgy makeup. Tough to hair, high need exuding from head to toe. All are the temperament of successful people. It's glacial platinum. 5 years without looking humble and destitute. Rooted in poverty and people. She's been cleaned. She's no longer the cold flower. Wear a uniform painted in the color of the bridge, please me another year. Now she's exquisite and perfect. Behind her there was a young man. Over 20 years old. Thick suit red. He looks like a graduate student. His eyes looked at me with hostility, not wanting to hide. Probably assistant Nam. Eye level. The eye stopped for a moment on the apron. My little bear, your eyes close a little. But very quickly restore that standard smile. Gypsy hasn't seen you in a long time. I nodded as if to say hello. Keep your hands off the apron. She seemed to want to ask something, but it's not convenient. Finally, take out a review from your bag. Push it in front of me. This is 1 million yuan. I know it's not 15. But now I'm capable. I want to pay you in advance. I looked at the number on the book. Take it and put it in your pocket. Thank you. This is what I deserve, even though I never expected it back. Name of the back assistant. She saw me get paid exactly like that. His eyes of contempt became clear. Platinum eyes quickly read just the expression. He eyes. Take a look at our little bakery. And then it stopped on my face. Those eyes. Eyes that I'm no stranger to. Pity from above looking down on Xiao Yu. I heard about your house. If you haven't found the right place yet, you can come to my company. My husband and I recently started our company. It is time to meet people. Look at the look of pity. Her mercy. My stomach is spinning. Last year's trade was my investment. She's done paying off her debt now. No one owes anyone. Now she's showing this attitude. Maybe he wanted to turn the old creditor into the one who let her. Alms they glanced at Assistant Nam next door with increasingly unsightly eyes, then suddenly understand. She's enjoying the pleasure to save others. It's like he used to enjoy being broke. That's her ring. Now she's also interested in my shooting. It's just that she's more hypocritical. I want to put on a cover full of love. I coldly refuse. No me. I'm very good here. Smile on the frozen white lips. You don't hold to. You know how you live your life. I interrupted her. The voice was tinged with impatience. I said no me. In the end, she didn't insist. Her beautiful face showed up a little unhappy. Okay, if you've decided that, I won't force it. The moment she turns away, the male assistant in the back immediately took a step forward. He held out his hand as if to grab her arm. The ice cream also turned its head towards him. With a smile, only the two of them understood. It's that now I pretend there's nothing wrong. Put your phone up and point it at them. Silently click capture. Very nice shooting angle. The assistant's hand was almost close to her waist. There's a smile on her face. Anyone who looks at it will not think. It's just an expression for a normal subordinate. On waving the phone, waving to them unhurriedly. And then I spent 2.5 minutes, online address search, her husband's public email, and send that photo through anonymously. When I'm done, I delete the photo, and the history I sent. The mood is also more comfortable. Finished a peaceful lunch with both eyes. My mind is also becoming clear. I lean against the counter, start thinking about how this 1 million yuan should be spent. The numbers on the book are a bit eye-catching. I haven't seen that much money in a long time. At least our lives. It doesn't have to be narrow in the end. There is also a new equipment that I have always wanted. The more I think, the more I'm happy. I've never seen 1 million yuan before. This is so useful. At that time the wind bell outside the nail door 1 hour. A clear voice trying to seem wee. Break my line of thought. I just turned my head. I immediately saw Liu Yen. A lot of people came to visit today. If you remember correctly, her unlucky husband Tran Vuong. It's been less than 2 years. What's wrong? Why am I leaning against the counter? She bit her lip. The eyes of waves against the water. Set form online. I said it again, and it made me nauseous, as if carrying a self-pity to speak. I want to see you two girls. What play are you playing? I almost laughed right away. Her eyes were as red as the sun. I knew before that I was stupid. Doing a lot of wrong things. You're always wrong. The love I want must be strong. Don't paralyze. But now I understand. What I really want is a peaceful family. Earnest tone. Your eyes are full of love. She raised her head. My eyes sparkled with water staring at me. And eyes filled with nostalgia and deep affection. Let's start over. I know your current situation. You really did too much, but not all. I can feed you. Voice. Her tone carried with it some pity and pity. At the beginning, Kim was unstoppable. I'm not eating this set, but don't mistake me for when you started. I tried to hold back the anger of rolling my eyes. Think back to a few years ago. Her wedding, and the poor schoolboy. Sealing Vuongqia held very solemn and touching. On the road, she sobs that you are the light of life. You are the one. I'd give anything to win happiness. I was standing in the audience. Look at that idiot who was so moved. People have only one thought in their heart. This young man is about to leave, just as I predicted. It's been less than 2 years since we got married. When the passion passes, the marriage returns to the wood. Of course she'll be disgusted with salt oil, so a green tea boy shows up just in time. Fortunately, that poor student, not to the point of weakness. He holds the evidence of Willow's adultery. I want to fight for my honor and he's sleeping. There's no such thing as coincidence in the world. Behind this, it must be an old lady in law. My promised bar director pulls mine to the present. I look at the person in front of me. He looked like he was still drunk playing the role of a dead man. Love the sarcastic smile where the corners of the mouth are getting darker. Willow is young. You think all the men in the world are idiots. The expression on her face. The funeral of her husband was very disturbing. I said slowly. I saw the news and she was crying. And she was paralyzed. It makes people listen. It hurts to look at the tears, but it is a pity. If only that night. I don't see a shadow that looks very much like you. Wearing the hands of a handsome guy. Take the elevator in front of the hotel. Willow faces Yen. Immediately white, no more drops of blood. Oh, that's right, handsome Kia. It doesn't seem. You can jump upstairs as long as you can. As if you were tired. I take a step forward, looking straight at her trembling pupils. He wears a mask every day pretending to be a doc. Don't you feel nauseous? She's been pushed back by me. Finally, his back crashed against the door, who trembled like a dry leaf in the autumn wind. You suck your blood. She tensed her neck in an argument. It looks great, but inside it is empty. His voice trembled like the wind. I don't want to have sex with her anymore. I'm not worried she'll get back at me. A woman so passionate about playing the role of a saint like that. I will never allow myself to lose my image. Then he became angry. Go get revenge on her. Image is more important than life. That mask she is wearing it too long tied to the face. I can't get out and get out. She's like a freaking amnesia. Stagger running out. The back ball looks pathetically unkempt. The shop finally regained its serenity. I breathed out a long breath. It feels like how much bad luck accumulates. In the last 5 years, it's all breathed out. From the stairs to the soft sound of footsteps, Bulvy with a freshly brewed 8 sweet teas coming down from upstairs. He walked up to me and gave me 8 drinks. His eyes seemed to ask what had just happened. I shook my head, and there was nothing. Dove as the first language. You look worried, but you don't look happy. I smiled at her clear eyes. One hand still holds the 8. The other hand made some rather awkward gestures. I'm fine, she understood. A sweet smile bloomed on her face. The sun's rays coming in from outside the window threatened me. We were so warm. From that day, I don't care about the circle anymore. That upper class too. Completely cut off contact with them. Now I just want to live well with Tove. Let this small shop live peacefully through the day. Every morning at 5 o'clock. I'll get up half an hour earlier than her. Go downstairs to make the first batch of bread. Wait until she goes downstairs with her eyes closed. The kitchen was filled with wheat. The hot water is also finished. I always use my hands. Good morning to me first. Then she tied up his apron. Let's start preparing sweets for today. We rarely talk, but it's getting more and more coordinated. Sometimes she's too busy to sweat. I'll give you a glass of ice when I get a glass of water. Sometimes your fingers touch the back of my hand, cool and soft. I started noticing all your habits. You're no longer afraid to guess what I mean. The days go by so completely. 3 days we did business together. Evening arrived. You taught me how to make more complicated cakes. Sometimes the two of us can talk all evening without using a pen, and that's what makes me feel so safe. I started thinking seriously about a problem. I want to marry her. I don't believe in love, but I started. There are people who are born to be together. I just want to continue like this with her. 3 months later I confess. Rather, I proposed to her. It was my brother's birthday. I hide you quietly. Prepare a little surprise at the store. When I go downstairs in the evening, the whole shop was lit by candles. Shimmering, I'm standing at the stairs. Hand over my mouth, I walk toward you. On one knee, pull out a diamond ring. I don't know how to say bad words. I don't believe in the oaths of the sea, but I want to be with you. Open this bakery until we're both old. I can't walk anymore. Do you agree? She's crying. Tears falling like buffalo seeds breaking the rope. Small particles to the ground. I nod so hard. Then put out your hand. Let me put a ring on my hand. The ring is a little wide. My fingers are too thin. But she held her hand tight. Don't let the ring down. I hold you tight. I can smell the fragrance coming from my hair. That moment, I've realized over the last 25 years of my life. It's all about getting ready to meet her. Our wedding was very simple. The scale is not large. Just invite the neighbors around. With some of the classmates. My old friends still have a good relationship. I don't care about the nice either. There's another phase. Simply want to bring the Tovi. It's a nice wedding. The day before the wedding, I went to the hairdresser to retouch myself. Buy yourself a set of clothes. Tovi's wedding dress was chosen by the two of you together. When I tried it on, she was shining. I'm standing outside the fitting room, looking at her through the mirror. Suddenly it feels like a dream. It's not real. Beautiful girl. This angel is really getting married to me. Until the day of the wedding, everything's going very well. My grandmother's condition is also much better. In a wheelchair to attend our wedding. She took my hand. He said in a weak voice, "Thank you for taking care of our family." I'm a little embarrassed. She must have taken care of you. Time to give the ring. My hands keep shaking. I hold those little hands, close my ears, whispered, "Don't stress. It's just following the sequence." When she heard that, she laughed for an hour. The urgency also immediately dissipated. Do you agree to marry Miss Vi, whether it's poor or rich, whether in sickness or in health? I will love and protect her. I agree. Brai Carfe, do you agree to marry Jian Xiao? Whether it's poor or rich, whether in sickness or in health, will you still love and respect him? They can't talk. But I nodded so hard. Then do a hand gesture. I agree. The owner of the kiss was a bit stunned. I don't know how to proceed at the moment. I grinned quickly as the translator, she said. She agreed to the entire hall below. There's a guy clapping his hands to the bride. Room for kiss. She looked embarrassed. Her face was flushed like an apple. I gently put a kiss on your lips. Very gentle. As if afraid of hurting you. When I'm done, I closed my ears. She whispered. In the next half of my life, I hope to teach more. Nestled in my arms, I laughed and shook my shoulders. As the students took turns to raise their glasses, I had a former close friend pat me on the shoulder and said, "Your dance has changed. Before Kia, you've always had the appearance of being careless. Don't care about anything. Now you look like a normal person." I turned my eyes to the Vi. I was busy talking to my grandmother. Replied smiling. Probably because I found someone worth paying attention to. Congratulations, and the wedding is over. We went back to the house upstairs. It's all kept the same old layout. It's just more baskets of fresh flowers and gifts received at the wedding. I took off my wedding dress. Familiar homeware clothes. Give me 8 noodles for dinner in the kitchen. I'm leaning in front of the kitchen door, looking at the silhouette of his Y. I felt my heart filled with satisfaction. This is the life I wanted for both of you. Happy and peaceful together. I brought 8 night noodles closer. You see, I'm still dazed. Put your hand in front of me. The picture asks what you're thinking. Think of you. Her face is red. A little bit of love for me. Then I took the notebook where I wrote Jian Chao. We're married. Do you regret it? I shook my head slightly. Absolutely no regrets. And I don't regret it. It's just that I feel a little bit unreal. It's like dreaming. I'm with my hand softly wiping my cheeks. Do you feel any pain? My mother's 2 eyes looked at me, then right again on the book. This is not a dream, and I love you the moment I write those 3 words. My fingers trembled slightly under the lamp. Imli yelled, your lashes look like delicate butterflies, wet in the rain. I stared at the words. The heart was hit hard by something. Not like the feeling my heart pounded as a teenager. Love is restored by the flower. It's not a feeling of vanity. Spent money like trash. It's a thick pain, dense and smoldering, bring a sense of stability and peace of mind. I've never experienced it before. I took the pen out of your hand and folded the notebook. Deliberately make a serious face. I says, John, the late night card wrote these things. You want to make me lose sleep. You are the one. Face flushed like a fold. Clumsy hand gestures. It's true, a psych. My arms around you. It's in my heart. My chin on my soft hair. Yeah, you know, the people in your heart are quiet. The fragile breath passed by my neck. In that moment, I suddenly realized, what is the honor of the John family? Then what did leaking promise white ice? Everything I have right now is worth more than 25 hours I've spent combined. But there's this thing called destiny. That fate is it. Always stick the wheel in. At the same time we were drowning in the happiest feeling, the days after marriage. It's like bread blooming in the oven, warm, full of fullness. We wake up and made the dough at 4 a.m. The first batch of croissants comes out at 6 o'clock. The fragrance filled the room. I was told how to catch a decorative flower, about how many times it's a disaster to smudge the ice cream, but I've never been angry. Just pick up my hand. Persistent correction. During periods of absence in the afternoon, I'll always drop down at the counter for a nap. The sun shone the rays through the window, the glasses that shine on my face every tiny dot of light. I used to stare at the sound of sleep. My old friend, that's weird. How could this girl be so pure? It's like never having a world full of dirt. This rot sticks to the black mud, and the scum keeps coming, and the dress gets dirty. On a rainy night like a little, when the store is about to close, take a break. There are men who smell of beer. Kick the glass door straight in. The leader is a gangster with a mother's number. It's on the next street. They call him Call. He was here before. I was going to ask for protection money once. I was chased out the door with a broom. In this moment, his whole body was hot. The smell of wine. There is a small decorative tree in front of the store, with that mute Kia's bossy face. Get the body out here. I'm still focusing on the book. Shoot me for the sound. Immediately looked up at me, habitually. I pulled my hand and pushed. He stepped behind my back to cover. Hands always grabbed the stick rolling powder. Named Kwankakia. He had a mouth full of yellow teeth and laughed. Young family giant. I really thought you were still a great guy. I hear the brakes again. You married a mute. I'm here to ask for a glass of wine. Let's see the game behind it. The guy laughed in response. Eyes like leeches attached to me. I am disgusted to open. I gripped my stick and rolled the powder white, fingering out. The price is also very expensive. As he was talking, he took another step. The wine is straight in my face. You want to shut down this store, don't you? Suddenly the V came from behind me. To take a box of cookies that have just been baked. Make out a smile. Hand dance machine sign language. I wanted to invite them to eat at that moment. I'm afraid there's a needle in my heart. This Akia. It's always been said that kindness is possible. Alice so before slapped hard into the cake box to the ground. Crumbling pieces of bread splattered on the floor. Who wants to eat this shit? He reached out his hand to grab my wrist. My nerve exploded in a flash. The stick that rolled the duff on my hand swung violently. In the chaos, I don't know how much my body ate. This kick legs again. Just remember that I died protecting Chauvai, in the corner of the cashier's counter, until the sirens of the police cars tore through the wind. The thugs panicked and ran away. The trembling hands of the V-Race touched the bleeding wound in the corner of my mouth, the big tears rolling down my cheeks, but can't sob into words. I wiped the blood with my hand, and she smiled and cried. What the hell? My man isn't dead yet. And she's crying louder. I put my whole body into my chest, as pathetic as a panicked pet that night. You put your arms around me, and I slept until morning. Just appealing. Even moving around a little makes me nervous. I wake up, look at the 2 dark circles in your eye sockets. Fear mixed with resentment rolled up in my heart. If it can't protect you today, then something bad will happen. The next morning, I went to the store, buying old scrap to pick up an iron stick. It's empty, and it's right next to the counter. When I saw it, I shook my head and refused. I knocked some on the iron stick. Let her know as a precaution. If not, the better. She bent her eyes down, and wrote the moon in her notebook. I'm just afraid you'll get hurt. Then the more I'm afraid you'll get her. I stroked her hair, and comforted her. Now I only have you. She looked up at me. Her eyes sparkled with tears and slowly nodded. That bland life hasn't passed. For how long? Willow is still the sound of disbelief that rises. This time she did not enter the store. I'm driving a red sports car. Alteration is extremely blinding. Parked on the side of the road. His face was half covered by sunglasses. Put your finger towards me and call. I'm holding a bag of flour right now. I don't care about her. So she opened the door and got out of the car. He stood with his back to the car smiling. Does your wife know the way you used to get help with ice white condensate? Her tone was distinctly provocative. I missed my hand. Flour sacks drop flour to the ground. White dust rises up in the darkness. Hear a loud noise. I ran from inside the store out bewildered to see that scene. It's like taking off your black glasses. Scan the gaze one turn from top to bottom, towards the fade with pity that doesn't hide. Too poor. You go again under the name of useless incompetent. Even the wedding has to be organized. It's cheap like this. My hands tightened into fists of blood and me. I want to jump up into the brain like a muzzle. Why are you afraid? It's not like your style in the old days. When she returned, she prayed. Not that you enjoy it. The feeling of giving, but so far I've been pretending to show deep love. What to do? I can't understand the words as they say, but I noticed this gunpowder smelling atmosphere. He slowly pulled my shirt, his eyes filled with anxiety. I took a deep breath, try to keep the fire down, turn around and use the word vi. It's okay. Just go in. I still stand still, somewhat hesitant. At this time the willow is quiet. Then you open a recording on your phone. Is the voice filled with the cry of the ice white. That year in the woods, I volunteered to give my heart. I'll give you everything I've ever had. If you agree with me and my voice, I am not from home. Paint the face immediately pale. She looked at me and looked at the willow like a saddle, lips trembling, agitated, but there's no sound at all. It's like putting the phone away. Don't think he's the one. Nice what for Cam. Back in the day, he was helping to stuff the ice. It was a joke. It is a pleasure to see others miserable. It's pathetic. Helping you now can be a temporary pleasure. Don't be vague. I completely lost control. Rushed to grab the phone. The willow shouted as if a sound creeping inside the car. Lock all the doors. The sports car fenced up and tossed back and forth. My husband and I fought in the dust. She keeps on fighting. My shoulders are also shaking. I tried to reach out my arms. Then suddenly you step back and walk away. That escape pierced through my heart like a dagger. That night after closing the shop, the air in the mezzanine is choking. I turned my back to clean my bed. From beginning to end, he didn't look at me. I always grab your shoulders, forcing you to face me. You believe her. Babe bit his lips tight. Tears are still around the edge of the lashes about to fall. I finally wrote a line in the book. Take note that what the Kia girl said is true. Why is it both right and wrong? I put my hand to rub my face. I told you about my rejection of ice vitiligo that year. Why do you two sign a contract? This is it. Recount the source from the beginning to the end, not hiding half a word. I know, you're not a decent person yourself, but compassion for Cam. But with you, at no point did you consider it a gift. After that, he fell silent for a long time, so long that I thought, you'll never notice me again. But in the end, my little hands are up too, slow to speak. I'm afraid of something, afraid that there will come a time. I'm tired of this boring life. I won't need you anymore. My hands are still shaking. I have nothing precious. I only have you. My heart throbs and I hold you in my arms. This fool is you alone. The two of them hugged each other all night and fell asleep. It's exactly like two injured pets, lick each other's wounds for comfort. But the logic that the willow tossed in her ear the day before, stuck like a needle and a thorn, crashed deep into Toadie's fragile, sensitive mind. She's become more interested than I am. Just clean the bar 10 minutes late. I was anxious to sit still. I met a female customer in the store. Long time chatting. Then you'll hide in my corner. Not without or without knowing. It's just embarrassing to be sad to cut through forever. Until midnight one day. Wake up. I found my wife's place cold. I panicked and looked around. I saw V crouching in the corner of the small balcony, silently shed tears under the moon. I came to embrace you from behind you stiff. But soon it softened, burying my face in my chest. I want you to tell me a story. I told stories about my parents. Tell me a story about my brother and Legion. Talk about the corruption in the middle, behind the glamour of that family. I didn't believe in love before. Let's say it's all an exchange of benefits. But you're different. I gently wiped away your tears. You make me feel there is still some love in this world. I raise my head under the moon. Your eyes are like two black glasses soaked in wire. I reached out my hand little by little along my eyebrows, eyes that bridge my nose and stop at my lips. Then you came close and kissed me softly. It was a pure kiss. There's no desire mixed. Like the first snowflake of the season, fall on the palm of your hand. I was stunned and immediately responded to you in that kiss. There's something that has quietly melted. It was the sharp thorn that Liu as Yen plugged in. One sound is spit out. Life returned to peace. But the waves are always waiting in the dark. One afternoon, an uninvited guest came to visit the store. Liu Bar promised. 5 years have passed. She's more and more noble. A European suit sewing. You look absolutely fine with this bee baker. She didn't bring her bodyguard. She was alone. Eyes when touching the vase. Carrying the cold as if gazing. This assessment is life. I choose to help in this corner. Playing spousal games with a small child. I pull the vi out behind the guard. Asked something to say quickly. She pulled up a chair and sat down. Dao you are still so immature. Lately, I had just found out something very interesting about the body. This little wife of mine. I was startled and grabbed my arm. Lee Bar promised bravery. Slowly open the handbag rack. Take out a yellow photo and push it forward. In the picture is a young couple. The man has the same eyebrow shape to some extent. The woman is holding a newborn baby in her lap. Your grandmother didn't tell you, did she? She looked straight at the vi. The corner of his mouth cracked a cold smile. Your parents didn't have to die of illness. It's a car accident. And the man who stabbed them was named Chun Hai Sun. Who is your father who drinks and drives? The air freezes in a split second. There's a buzzing sound in my head, almost unsteady. He stared at the picture. His face was as pale as paper. Not surprisingly, he promised to stand up. He looked down at the two of us. My father killed people's parents. And now I'm pretending to marry her. It's ironic why you shut up. I screamed but my voice trembled violently. He promised not to go to the vi. Speak softly with your breath in your ear. Little sister, I guess he was good to you because he was bad. Is it true? Finished saying those words. She turned and left as if she'd never shown up. It just leaves a dead silence. Like in hell, I stood motionless like a wooden statue. It's like my soul has been drained. I reached out my hand to touch you. I shot people away like I was electrocuted. His eyes were empty and very strange. I heard you explain that you didn't know. I pushed myself to run to the locked floor, slammed the mezzanine door. I frantically banged on the door inside. There's not an hour of response. A long time later, I put out a piece of paper. There's only a few shaky handwriting on it. Just leave me alone. That night I sat still, outside the door until morning. There was no sound in the front room, but I know you're not sleeping. The next day I didn't go downstairs. I opened the store and cooked porridge. I see the door is still locked. Tuesday and Wednesday are the same. She locked herself in her room without eating or drinking. The bomb he promised to leave behind. It almost completely destroyed the small world that we've just cultivated, so it's gone. In a few days, I found myself in the attic. I'm like an animal, locked back and forth in the narrow shop. Bags of flour all over the floor. On the baking tray, there are still burnt cookies left, ditched from a few days ago. In the smelly air, the sour yeast of despair. Countless times I wanted to jump upstairs, break down the thin wooden door tang kia, but every day I see the words, just leave me alone, more and more on a piece of paper, shoved through the door. My arm just dropped in helplessness. I'm afraid that my approach will become the last straw to crush her this helplessness. It's even worse. When faced with the collapse of the family, at least I could be angry. You can swear, you can take the suitcase and leave, but now I'm coming. There is no right to be angry. And my veins are the blood of the accident. The promise was correct. Hit right at the weak defense. My most childish. A blow is broken. Late at night on Thursday. In the mezzanine came down a repressed moan. It sounds like a small animal crying in pain. And then there's the sound of a heavy object falling on the floor. My heart is pounding. I don't care about anything anymore. Use the spare key to break in. I was unconscious on the edge of the bed. Grayish face with dry cracked lips. In my hand is a glass of water. She seems to want some water, but there's a little strength and she's gone. How many days of fasting and drinking? My body is exhausted to the limit. I rush to embrace your shock. My body is as light as a feather, as if it would vanish into silence at any moment. VVV. I patted my cheek. Is your voice lost? My eyelids are trembling and opening a narrow slit. The empty eyes stopped on my face. There's no focal line. In that moment, I'm really afraid you'll leave forever. Afraid you won't give me a chance to make a mistake. I went crazy, rushed down the house, heat the porridge, and mix some warm water. Slowly peeking at my dry lips wrap. Use a small spoon and carefully take each sip. I swallowed it unconsciously. My eyes are still dull for you. After eating half a porridge, I took hot water. Wiped your face with a cotton towel, and my cold hands and feet. Throughout the process, you're like a doll. My face arranged. There's just a few tears that occasionally roll down the corner of the eye. To prove that you're still breathing, I put you back in the blanket. Leave your clothes alone. Lay down on the side, the way a blanket hugs your body. I dare not sleep. I'm afraid that if I close my eyes, I'll disappear. I sat next to my ear and said softly. The voice was hoarse. I know you hear that you might hate me. It's okay, but you can't die. If you die, I know how to live. More than 25 people live in this world. There's not a lot of shit to do, but I never thought I'd hurt anyone. The poor thing your father did. I would if you saw me kill you. I want you to give me the knife now. Already said. I grabbed her hand and pressed it against my left chest. But you can't punish me this way. Punish yourself. My grandmother risked her life to raise me. I'm not letting you end up like this. Remember that croissant you gave me. That's what's worth it. The sweetest food I've ever eaten in my life. It's because of paralysis. Sweet. Because of you. This shop is called the Kwang. It's because you lit it up. When you're gone, the light goes out. Your world will also sink into the darkness of 3 nights. I don't know how long, I muttered, until the throat is dry and painful. My body in my chest is still freezing, but the breathing seems to have become more regular. Until the next morning I tried to get up, take care of some stuff. For you, there is a cold hand that has softened. Hold on to the bear. I turned around. I touch your eyes, but they're still red. But in those pupils there's a little bit of twinkling. Delicate gas. You stare at me. My lips don't make a sound. But the aperture looks like the sound of water. I almost crawled around pouring water. 2 hot hands drop out in half. After taking a few sips, you put your head back in my lap and close your eyes. Tears are coming out of your eyes. But this time, it is no longer the silence of despair. It's intermingled with the fragility of someone who's tired. You've accepted, let me be close. That realization alone made me happy. Shed tears. The next step is self-healing. It's hard and very slow. My body is getting older and healthier, but the hurt shadow in my soul is long. Disappear. I've become extraordinarily obedient. Even more wrong than that. You used to watch the bakery with me. But my hands and feet seem to move all the time. I'm dumbfounded, standing there watching the duff bowl, at night or startled by sleep paralysis. I woke up swaying profusely. Every time I hold you, I can hear your heart beating wild. I don't use the notebook anymore. Take notes to exchange with me. What does the river need to express? I also show my hand very simply. I know that shark chin is always deep. Where is my heart? Were Willow's words promised like poison? It's eating away at full trust. For the love between the two of us, you're starting to distance yourself from my touch. I instinctively picked up food for you. I'll be stunned for a month to get it. At night I want to sleep with you. Then your body stiffly turns its back. The alienation. This intentional spending even makes me choke. More than arguing. I know you're having a tear inside. You're reevaluating everything about us. Help from me, marriage proposal from me, my love. Whether it all stems from a long-standing debt, it's not too late. The turning point came one afternoon. An old woman who used to buy whole wheat cake give us a pack of shoes. She said it was her son's specialty confectionery, sent from abroad. She insisted on borrowing it to thank her for her care. All this time I refused to accept it forever. Lady, you and your husband are good people. This time, such honest traders are rare. You two have to live well. The old woman held my hand and kept telling me. After the grandmother left, I keep holding the box of cookies behind the counter. Long time the sun through the glass door, sing to my falling lashes. They stood watching from a distance, not daring to bother. Suddenly you walk in front of me. Give me the box of cookies, then point your hand at the box. Keep old stuff in the corner. Inside, those are some photos from our wedding. And there's something that I still treasure, a tattered notebook with insurance terms. I used to write that I held people for a while. I finally know what you mean. I went to look for the broken bottom, hit the notebook out and dust it off. Give it to me. I took the notebook and turned it to the last blank page. Hold the pen and start writing. My hands are still a little shaky, but the handwriting is slow and bold. I dreamed of my mother. They're in a place full of light smiling at you. They don't seem to blame you for writing here. I stopped writing for a long time. The ink blotted out on the paper into a tiny dot, and then I kept writing. I'm thinking, if you were nice to me just because you feel bad, why did you steal bread? In your eyes there is only impatience. No pity. I just made a phone call. I want to solve the problem. Why at the time I accepted your marriage? You've been out for so long. Your hands are so red. You look up at me with tears in your eyes. There's a lot of confusion in those eyes. The same fragile ray of hope. You're not questioning me. It's asking me for an answer. An answer that can pull you out of this nightmare. I look at you. The heart is held by a gentle hand. I took a pen to shape. Write one line at a time just below the line. My brother's letter. Because you're not a good person. I didn't think much of helping you. Maybe in a good mood that day. Maybe they just don't want to get in trouble. When I asked you to marry me, I haven't been able to discern either. See if it's love or not. I just feel that being with you is so peaceful and comfortable. But now I'm so clear. I can't bear to see you cry. I can't watch you being bullied. When you're in pain. I just hate not being able to carry you. Some of this has nothing to do with who is your father. Just because you're a vi. If I have to talk about fear, then that my only regret was not seeing you sooner. So that I have to taste how bitter it is. And I didn't protect you very well. Make me for a reason. From you to suffer more shame. I returned the pen to you. Look at the words I just wrote. The tears kept pouring out more violently, but the corners of the lips curled slightly up a stroke. It's a smile that looks worse than crying. And yet to me it's the most radiant beauty that I've seen. You pick up your pen right behind my words. Use emphasis to write 3 more letters. I believe you. And I put the pen down. Take the hand out. Softly grab my fingers. My fingers are still cold, but that steady power. In the blink of an eye, he has swept away all the dark clouds that have covered him. My heart that night. You finally don't turn your back on me in my sleep. You curled up in my arms. Like a baby bird. I finally found my home. The breathing has been slow. I listen to your breathing, and see that this is the most graceful piece of music. Hide from the world. We all know that the scar is still there. Maybe it'll stay forever, 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 forever. But at least we started to learn how to live with it. And it's because we're together to bear the burden. So the connection between the two of us is the opposite. It's becoming incredibly strong. Decided to leave the city. We came out a few days later. It's not because of the threat of a broken promise. Most people want to change one other environment, a land no longer, and remnants of the past are literally remade from scratch. I didn't hesitate at all for you. Just of me by your side. That place is the roof. We sited the Kwon Bakery. Pack your bags and get ready to go south. Neighbors believe it. We took our steps and walked away to send off the man with the big bag. Small tough wrap local specialty. If you are raped by I in the future, come back here. You have the masters for me. The old woman took her hand and brushed it away. The stream of tears filled with tears. Nod yes. Give me the bag of cookies that I just took out of the oven. Late at night before leaving. I'm cleaning up what's left in the loft. I went and pulled out from the bottom of the closet an iron box. It's where my grandmother's relics are kept. Some time-color pinch photos, along with the insurance policy they used to paint it back then. The paper is yellow, but the handwriting is still very clear. Maybe one day I will miss a meal. At the end of the market, you just give me a rice. I looked at the paper, laughing into a laughing cry again. I grabbed the pen, write a few lines behind the paper, gave it back to me. Nay whole lie. 8-year rice is forever divided in half. My eyes are burning. Hold me close to the back of a predetermined word. The sound of the train, wheels rolling, city substance. There is so much pain in this. Tormented with the warmth of human love. Slowly walking outside the glass door. Put my head on my shoulder and fall asleep. Your hands still wrap my skirt tight. The sun's reflection through the doorway lit up. Your face is peaceful. I bend down and kiss the top of your head and you close your eyes. I don't know what the next route will be, but as long as you're around, everywhere you go is called home. We finally stopped, living in a small coastal city. Use the money to sell the old store, to open a more modest pastry shop. It's called the Light of the Day. I'm in charge of baking. I'm a receptionist. Even though life is much simpler, be quiet in yourself. I also stepped out of that dark cloud. The face was beaming with a smile, but sometimes at night it's quiet. She's still terrified, waking up from a nightmare. And every time, I'll rush to hold you in my arms, pat me on the shoulder until I fall back asleep. The morning of a year later, we're walking hand in hand along the beach. The sun's rays were as bright as gold, and the waves swayed softly. The vase suddenly stopped. Point your hand at a glittering object lying on the sand. I bent down and picked up a piece of glass, worn to the brim by the waves. Stigmatized label drop. The evening form reflects the warm rays as the give me your hand. Take that piece of glass to shine the light of the sunset. I looked a long time ago and put it in my hand. Two with his hands closed. He told me to store it carefully. I tease you about love, you nod excitedly. Eyes glistening brightly. In an afternoon, the weather was stifling in the deserted shop. Belvi is still working hard at the operating table. Prep ice cream cake for tomorrow. I'm still sitting there, showing the books at the cashier's desk by the ear. Then I heard a deep cry. I looked up. I saw Bolve holding on to the egg cage, but standing there. Look outside the glass window, where there's a young father. I am carrying my little girl, through the laughter of the guests, echoing like a little girl's bell through the glass. To get inside, I put the notebook down and walked over to you. You're not looking at me, but his eyes still follow the shadow of the father's, that one forever, until they took a turn in the back of the alley. My angle of inclination, with beams of light flashing in from the window, make you look pale. Pale in the case, contains an infinite complexity interwoven. It's hard to say. It's a mixture of desire, thirst and pain tearing the liver apart. I touch your arm. I woke up with a smile shaking my head. I didn't do it. So I put my head down, stirred the duff and the ate harder. As if wanting to take that action to hide something I'm sure you remember the late mother. I thought it should have been a childhood. When I was with my mother, I was filled with laughter. In that gap, you'll never be able to fill it up again, as sharp as the thorns of leaking promise, like a poison thorn, even on a beautiful sunny day. It's shining like this. At any time it doesn't warn, but stab a pain in my heart. That night when the shop closed, the two of you are sitting on the back stairs to catch the wind blowing from the ocean, the sound of each wave crashing against the sand, stretch, the bright spots from the fishing boats flickering away, peaceful far away. My knees rest on my shoulders very quietly. I hold your hand in my lap, still a little iron. I broke the silence. Do we need to go visit Mom? My body's a little shaky. He looked up in confusion at me. I mean to visit your mother's father. I weigh every word. I know where the cemetery is. The file that Willow promised to throw down there. We stayed there for a few words. Let them know that you're alive now. And that's for the apology that I owe them. The last few words. I told Ra it's not easy, but I have to open up. I was stunned for a long time. Your tears are quickly filled with tears, but I pressed hard. Don't let the tears roll away. You stare at me, your eyes filled with anguish. There was just horror, but it just lit up a ray of determination. You hit my head on the shoulder hard. Nod in agreement. We chose a morning. Weather through clouds. Holiday sale closed. The shop brought the flower. The self-bundle from the chrysanthemums. White eyelashes and branches of blue sand. We headed straight for the suburban cemetery. The cemetery is very quiet. Livery charcoal-based mountain sea view. It's a peaceful land. Base according to the material. We found Kia's twin tombstones. The tomb looks very simple. The top of the stela engraved photos of the couple mother, but all the lines are fading out of sight. I walked up to the throne and sat down, squat down the daisies. She reached out her hand and wiped it with her fingers. Little patches of dust and fallen leaves deposited on the rocks. Gesture man. It's like stroking a fragile dream. I don't cry, just quietly clean up. Ere the sun rises, half of the face looked inwardly inclined, sing out a state of peace, quiet as the gods descend. I stepped a few feet behind her. This moment is a sacred moment. It belongs only to you and your parents. For a long time I looked up, waving me away. I walk right next to you, shoulder to shoulder in front of the grave. The sea breeze stroked through the curls as well as through the sleeves. I turned my eyes to the grave. Keep your eyes on me, then raise your hand. It's starting to express itself through sign language. Ear speed signals slowly as imply. Every one of these moves up and down. They are filled with my love. So, Mom. This is my husband Jaeon Shao. Stop your hand for a moment. Take a deep breath into your chest and continue. He takes good care of you. We've built a foundation. Small cake for yourself. It's called the Golden Age. Life goes by very peacefully. I'm really satisfied. What year are the waves? We all know the truth. Language from the hands as if something were holding it down. Heavy but filled with steady air. This is an accident that no one wants. I also know that this is not the case. He's compared to his Kia dad. Not the same gut at all. She turned her head and glanced at me. The tears at the corner of my eyes finally fell quietly. There is no sound, but the lips curled up in a bright smile. I keep going with the stone. So you two don't hate him. You don't have to worry about me. Now you are having a very real happiness. Look at me carefully. Use that silent language to promote me with my grandparents. Clear face. Let me confirm your full happiness. The back of my throat feels like a bitter candy. Hard cup. I start to heat up. I gave my hand. Hold tight to my other hand. But I'm dealing with beer. The bow is very close. When I close up, I looked at the open file photo on the stela, to speak eloquently and solemnly. Say hello to your uncle and aunt, whose name is John Xiao, 1,000 times. And it's done. I also want to thank you. Thank you for bringing me to this world. Please rest assured, in the future, as long as you live, reluctant, I will never push her further into harm's way. Any one more time. I'll take it all. Everything I have to cover for her. Every word that they store it very slowly, but it's the sounds that come out. Your own heart and heart. I know the weight of the promise through the tip of the tongue is illusory and fragile, but that's all the possible ways. The exams that I can afford to do. Done with coaxing. Hand in hand pull you back through the sloping transmission at the side of the cemetery. On the way back, I reveal the spirit of relief. It's unbelievably relaxing. It's as if you've just thrown a burden. The big guy's been clinging to his shackles through all these years. Even the sisters are rising, jumping up and pointing at the wildflowers, roofing on the side of the road, passionately playing with me. But there is absolutely a basis. Bring the fresh sap from the Kia flower to test the modulation. So that's pure natural flavor. From that moment that day, I've got a hunch that something's changed. Delicate and small, lightweight, reborn in the soul itself. I remember the drifting dark fog floating in the center. Your eyes seem to be dying away somewhat. The beauty that comes out of your mouth, vibrant and generous. I'm really catching up. Share your long-term plans with me, because it's like what hydrangea pots should be. In front of the shop, or for example, to accumulate a little bit of a peak. Should I buy the adjacent room? Annexation for the premises, whether the store is bigger or not. And even foot dancing, hand painting. I know tomorrow we will go to the future. Please, to adopt a boy or girl. It's too much in my stomach. A trip to the cemetery. Once upon a time, beyond what I meant to remember. Soothing the soul by Mom. At the same time for the two of us, this is officially a final statement. Full of formality. To erase the dark past. It couldn't be reversed. Tons of catastrophic tragedies before. We still have the right to choose. Choose a path directly towards the end. Finished state. We're wearing a half-8 filled with nostalgia. Extremely solemn. Bring it all back. Take advantage of the empty half of the 8. It's filled with empathy. To tolerate more tasteless honey of Sister Vey. Destination hand wedge tasting element. Enjoy the aftertaste of May. The rest of my life with the best self-love and a little darkness. When they're closed, they're both nestled on the edge of the ocean. Drop your soul into the sunset. Reclining to the sunset. It's streaking across the surface. By wing of majestic red rose to the wind horn. I drop my neck to the shore. My shoulder suddenly brush, and then I put it in my chest. My hand. With the lines of the letters. This is not your usual hand dance. You're obviously. Finger on the flesh. Line up the text. I carefully considered the words you transmitted. It's the light age. A time of great seriousness of personal satisfaction. I bend over and kiss the top of my hair. Hold on to your body one more round. finished reading the script. My chest is really choking. It's a very haunting story. It's also very beautiful about healing. It's not just Princess motive. It's a journey to find self and humanity in a world full of lies. The backstory in the script is so brilliantly constructed. Among the cruel calculations of the elite, where love and affection are exchanged for cruel, the voiceless feeling of mine, the again brilliant and pure to the heart. A little girl with a defect. We were so surrounded by poverty that we had to hide it. The bread, it's the light. He was holding out his hand when he lost everything. Insurance policy sheet. Every year it seems like a gift from above. It has now become a vow. Share half-ate rice for a lifetime. This detail really brought me to tears. A twist waiting for the end. It really breaks the heart. When the harsh truth is exposed, the blood of the Lord carries this crime. Family with family. Section V. The pain. That the tearing of both of them is described as excruciating. But beyond all the tragedies of fate, the words "I believe you" trembled on the page, broke down all the barriers. Love and altruism have conquered the darkness of hatred. Make a ballpoint segment. It touches the bottom of my heart. Two people walking away with each other, open a small bakery, watching the sunset. It's a very soft note. It's comforting to both the characters and the viewers, leaving a priceless aftertaste of peace. Rating scored 9 out of 10. And you, please comment, let me know.